You're with us here on a fresh new edition of Midcap Radar. The market is up about 90 points. 9,340 is where things are at. And, it's basically absolutely off the highs, but holding on with, roughly 90 to 100 odd point gain. Let's see if this is managed, held, or the market starts to slip once again. Very, very possible. With me today, my colleague Anisha. Hi, Anisha.
Hi Prashant, good afternoon. Well, yes, 93.50 is again acting as a tad bit of resistance because the Nifty is currently hovering that 93.40 mark. A lot of stocks are actually doing well in trade, but they're off the morning highs. So the two-wheeler stocks like Tata Motors, Bajaj Auto, Hero MotoCorp, Eicher Motors, they're all trading with gains of around 4 to 10%. And on the flip side, the IT companies and pharma names are losing a tad bit of steam. So names like Sun Pharma, etc. are coming under pressure, and even IT names like HCL Tech and Tech Mahindra have been coming under pressure in the last few minutes. We'll do one thing, we'll start up the show with the top headlines and then run you through the individual stories. Market climbs up but comes off early high as Dow Futures 2 gives up gain. Reliance and IT majors rise in trade. Private financials led by ICICI Bank drag. Midcap index fares just a shade better. Nifty Bank underperforms, pulled down by a big cut in ICICI Bank. Remember, the bank reported gross NPAs at 5.53%, sparking fear of higher NPAs across the board going ahead. The government's intent to borrow 12 lakh crore rupees compared to the budget estimate of under 8 lakh crores in FY21 pulls down bonds and pushes up yields. Rupee also weaker in trade. Mid-caps are pulled up on hope that domestic mobility will start soon in India. Indian Railways announces decision to resume passenger trains starting tomorrow. Aviation Minister says they are looking at gradual, calibrated opening. Rail and aviation stocks rally in trade. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman to attend meeting of the Financial Stability and Development Council on the 14th of May. All financial sector regulators to be present.
Okay, so 88 odd points higher, still 9,339. I'm just going to list out a couple of stocks and throw it back to Anisha. I think we have the management of NFL with us, but this is basically what is still holding on strongly. Maruti is the first one. It's up 7% as we speak, 49.76. Tata Motors is up 10%. The stock is at about 89. Hero MotoCorp is up almost 9% now, 21.32. It's a strong day for autos today. Motherson Sumi is up 8%. The stock is up at about 83. Z is up about 5.5%, 159, and IGL is up about 5.5% at 497. I can go down the list and there's a bunch more which is doing very, very well. So I think the broader market is doing much better than what the Nifty is indicating at this point in time. Volumes actually are pretty healthy. Anisha.
Oh, well, yes, the broader market is doing better, and one of the stocks from the broader market that is catching attention is NFL, because remember, NFL has clocked in a 71% year-on-year sales growth in the month of April. Manoj Mishra, the CMD of the company, joins us on the phone line to help us understand what's happening with the business. Mr. Mishra, good afternoon. Thank you so much for speaking with CNBC-TV18. First up, congratulations on a 71% increase in this tough macro environment. But if you can help us understand what kind of logistical and packaging issue are you facing, because you did allude to them earlier. So is this something that is still continuing in the business?
Good afternoon. Actually, you're right. During the month of April, we have clocked over 70% growth. Last April 2019, we had clocked 2,12,000 metric ton. Against that, 3,62,000 metric ton we have sold. But it has to be seen in the context that the country as a whole, the consumption of fertilizer, DAP, urea, MOP and complexes has gone up by 47%. So the growth is not limited to NFL only. We have done more than the country's growth, but the increase in consumption is there from 23 lakh ton to 5 lakh ton during the month of April. So that is there. The question you raised was whether the packing material issue is still haunting us.
Right.
So so in that I will say, first thing, had packing material issue not been there, I'm sure our sale would have been higher. because we still carrying a lot of stock in our silo. Because packing material is still an issue. We have been able to get some stocks. We have a consensus. Production has to continue run 24/7, and silo stock where I can keep that is also limited. So the only option available is to push the material, dispatch the material to the field. And there we do have, but we have been able to manage so far. We have not been restricting production. All our units are producing at 100% or above, but that is a matter of concern. Still has not been, everything has not normalized yet. So we are keeping our fingers crossed in this regard.
So, Mr. Mishra, what are you doing about solving all the logistical and the packaging issues that you're facing? And also this 70% run rate, is that sustainable in the coming months as well?
No. As I mentioned, see, the month of April is an off-season. There is generally season month generally start June, July, right, for Kharif. So generally the month of March and April are off-season where sale does not take place. But what happened during the month of March also due to lockdown, the sale overall was less by 8 lakh tons countrywide. I am saying so. That was one reason. And second, once there was some after initial hiccups when the lockdown was relaxed for fertilizer sector, during that period, so the sale which could not take place in March, that has picked up. That is one. But having said this, see, the fertilizer sector has grown by over 5% during the previous year, 2019-20. So it cannot happen that after a 5-year growth, annual growth I am saying, we'll again have a heavy growth. I am sure this increase in growth will get adjusted during the sales in the month of June or July. I mean, this 40% or 70% growth in sale is not going to, continue. So some sale which would have taken place in the month of June, July, maybe people have bought right now.
Okay, so there has been some bunching up of sales that has happened in the month of April. But if you could add some perspective as far as the margin picture is concerned, what's happening with your transportation cost, for example? Has that gone up? What's the labor situation on the ground? If you could provide more clarity on all of that.
Actually, see, it is in two parts. One part is, of course, the loading into rakes at our plants. So there, we have been able to manage. We have been able to organize the labor. Our contractor has been able to organize the labor, and we have been able to dispatch. Again, the constraint is the packing material, the bags, right? Now, at the destination point where the material reaches in various districts of the states, there, each state and each district, each rake point had its own issues. I mean, things are becoming normal slowly, but I cannot say actually that whether it will remain, because I have the last month we have seen some cases where we have dispatched our rake and rake has remained stranded for 4 days location. But the railways have been considered. They had given some adjustment to us that during this lockdown, some demurrage, etc., they will take care of that. So that is as such not a bigger issue. But that initial hiccup we have taken care of. Now that we are able to handle rakes, and with the your question would be, I think, if with the migrants moving to their native states, whether it will create any problem or not. But as of now, because for a rake handling, it's not that thousands of people we require. So as of now, I'm not envisaging much of a trouble in terms of rake handling, even at the district level.
Sure, Mr. Mishra. Before we let you go, if you could quickly help us understand the balance sheet situation as well, as far as the outstanding receivables are concerned from the government, at what level they are and what's the trajectory that we should expect going forward?
Outstanding level is very high. These are, all time for us, for our company, is highest ever. Because also we have grown in size also, maybe because of that. But it is maybe 6,500 or 7,000 crore. In that range, our outstanding is there. So we have been depending upon our working capital requirement has grown up. We are borrowing from the market, and we have taken up with the Department of Fertilizers to release subsidy, because the April month we didn't get much of a subsidy. So because the previous in the month of March, we had got special banking arrangement through around 10,000 crore. So that got adjusted in the month of April. And government also has the entire 70,000 crore subsidies actually distributed month-wise. So on the subsidy release front, we do have some concern.
Sure. Okay, Mr. Mishra, thank you so much for speaking with CNBC-TV18. So the sales in the month of April have been strong, but the balance sheet issues as well as working capital issues and packaging material issue continues to plague the performance of the company. With that, we are slipping into a very short break, but as we do that, Money Control Pro reaches a new milestone by exceeding 2 lakh active subscribers. Get ideas for profits, actionable insights, impactful analysis and more at just ₹1 per day. Also avail exclusive benefits worth 20,000 rupees. Subscribe now with the coupon code PRO365. Remember, offer is valid only till 14th of May.